Hi, I'm Christine, and welcome to Navigating the Small Business Maze, where it's no gurus, just tested strategies and real data from our business to yours. On this channel, I share service business processes that have actually worked for us, using real examples and data from my husband's photography business. In today's video, I'll walk you through exactly how I track our return on investment with Google Ads and determine whether an ad is truly profitable. And as always, it's all based on real numbers from our own business. Let's jump right in. This is the inside of my Google Ads account. And I thought that this content would be really cool because I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing in our business, because Google Ads is the main way that we use to advertise my husband's business. Now, he does photography and he does focus on three primary areas. What I've done, I've created three different ad campaigns around the three main topic areas that we cover. One, headshots, another is wedding, and then the third one is the modeling. And so I just kind of wanted to show you guys because this is my first video, kind of what we're starting with here. This is my data from January 1st to February 28th. You can see that in that time, I spent about $2,000 in our ad account. This is the number of impressions. So this is how many people saw my ad. This is how many people clicked on my ad, 625. And then the number of conversions is 50 conversions. Now, all of those conversions did not actually lead to actual bookings. I'm going to show you my tracking sheet that shows what people actually booked from my Google ad and how much money resulted from those bookings, so that I can make sure we're not just throwing money away and wasting our time on Google Ads. These are my three enabled campaigns. This is the headshots campaign. This is the wedding ad. It's labeled May 2024 because that's when I first started the ad. And then studio models and birthdays. This is my newest ad that I've been testing to see if we can make a profit. It hasn't proven very lucrative yet, but it's also hasn't proven that it's losing money yet. So I'd hate to shut it down prematurely. Just to give you an idea, headshots is my ad that has been running the longest and has the most data behind it. So it has the most clicks. It cost the most out of all my ads, $1,260,000, but it also had the most conversions. If you remember, I had 50 conversions total for the January and February combined. And so 29 of those made up of the headshot ad. And I've been running this ad, let's see, all time. Since March 2019, I've been running this ad. So that's a good 6 years. It's a lot of data. So you can see my number of clicks over the years are over 3,000 clicks, over 71,000 impressions, people who have viewed the content, $11,000 invested in this ad since 2019, and 378 conversions. Now I wanted to bring up my tracking sheet that I use. This is a list of all the leads that I got from Google that actually booked. So you can, if you remember, we got 50 leads from Google that Google has told us that have actually converted. And in another video, I'll go into like explaining how Google determines who's converted and who hasn't. But you can see that of those 50 that Google has said converted, we have 17 folks here who have booked from the ad. I notate the date that the initial inquiry came in and the lead source. This is a chart only for Google Ads, but it's also part of a larger chart that tracks other bookings we get from other sources like referrals, Facebook, Instagram, that sort of thing. And then the Google campaign that it came from, you can see a lot of these are headshots. Headshots is our best performing campaign. The wedding ad is accountable for a few of them. And then the studio portraits. The studio portraits ad is the newest and needs probably the most work. If you remember back from Google before, in this time period, if you look at all campaigns together, we spent $2,030 on our ads. Now, if you took all these bookings all together, what resulted in $16,560. So that, I think, is a pretty good return on investment. This is the dollar amount that the lead booked for. I like to deduct any direct costs that I know are going to come from the job. For example, hiring second shooters because we're a photography business, hiring editors, that sort of thing specific to the job. I like to deduct that right off the bat and take that out of our base. So after I do that, I find that our actual dollar amount from the ad is $12,270. That deduction doesn't include for us like the overhead type costs, like the cost of our studio, the cost of the software that we use to edit, all that kind of stuff I don't deduct because it would be too complicated. But I do like to take out in my Excel spreadsheet the cost of our second shooters and things directly associated with getting the job done, because that's not income helping to cover our overhead or personal profit. So in the end, we've spent $2,000 on Google Ads in January and February, and we made $12,270 dollars from that. So if you deduct the 2030, we end up with $10,240. So it's about $5,000 per month in income. This is not our only form of advertisement. We also get lots of things from referrals, lots of things from business networking type events and that sort of thing. This is strictly from Google Ads. So it's not our complete income, but it is what we are currently getting from Google Ads. So I thought it was good to show. On this spreadsheet, I know for my various ads, how I'm doing with them. You can see that for headshots, we spent around $1,250 during the January, February time period, and we made $6,620 off of that. The wedding ad, even though we spent less, we still made almost the same amount as headshots. I think this is because some businesses that needed videos found us through our wedding ad because our wedding ad includes videography as part of it. So I kind of had like an unintended consequence there. And I'm going to have to drill down later about why that might have happened. We're not complaining about it. I think it's great if our wedding ad is bringing in other types of business that we also do and also want to focus on. Perhaps there's a better way to target those people that speaks more to them and we could bring in more people eventually. And then I have our portraits section here that has brought in only $550. We spent $256 on it in the January and February time period. So not doing that great in comparison, but at the same time, like I said, it's not losing money. And I think there's some potential there. So I've kept it running, and I'll go over like our March numbers in future video, and you can see that like it is progressing. I hope this video helped you better understand how to look at your conversion numbers in Google and how to do your own calculations to see whether your ads are actually generating revenue that makes them worth it, just using a simple Excel spreadsheet. In future videos, I'll dive deeper into how we manage our Google Ads account and continue sharing the strategies that have worked for us. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is Navigating the Small Business Maze. No gurus, just tested strategies and real data from our business to yours.